Hi again and welcome to another LINKo7 tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you a sample workflow of how you can use LINKo7 to model real REVIT family data in AutoCAD and view that instantly in REVIT. So let's start. I have AutoCAD and REVIT back to back this time. Last time they were side by side, but they were squeezed. So this is REVIT and this is AutoCAD. And in AutoCAD, I just drew a very simple polyline that represents let's say the property line of the building. Very simple building. So let's establish the connection. As we've seen before, this is how you establish the connection, the live connection between Revit and AutoCAD using LINKo7. It's either you can connect to an existing connection, or you can create another one. So you create another one. I give you a number 2115. Let's go to AutoCAD and 2115 connect, and we go to Revit, and Revit will say a connection has been established. Close, and now you can see the protocol ID 2115, and here's the protocol ID 2115. So now the connection has been established. So let's start in Revit again and add some levels. So you use the level manager. Let's delete the roof. Let's add maybe another 6 or 10 levels, and let's do the typical floor height 12. Create. Now you can see it has created these. Since the connection is live, these levels already exported to AutoCAD. If you're not having a live connection, you can use the export button here to export it. But since we have a live connection, we have that automatically done. We go back to AutoCAD. This is the level. So now we want to create those levels. Okay, so it's asking you to have to do the property line. So let's do the property line. The width, I would say this is 2 inches. Dimension, distance, let's say 10 feet. You will see what are these numbers. So you select the polyline, and you can see this is the dimensions, offset 10 feet, and this is just the thickness of the polyline. Now I can get the levels. You see they're already there. You have the choice to insert them all into the drawing or some of them. So I just say check all, create, and you can see they are right there. If you go to 3D, so this is like mimicking the levels in Revit. That's why you needed the property line. So by this time you are ready to do the grids, the column grids. Let's go back to plan view, and column grids here. It's easy. You can give it a name and the bubble size, and if you specify the exact length, it will allow you to specify the start and end point of a grid line. But if you don't specify that, it will automatically calculate it, as you will see now. So all you have to do is just pick any 2 points on any line, straight line, and it will create it for you. So now you see this is the extension, the 10 feet extension, and this is the bubble side. And you can keep continue. So if you look at the command prompt, specify distance. That's the distance between the column grids. So I would say this maybe 20 feet. And annotation, I would say B. And you just extend it a little bit, go for a direction, it will draw the other one. And you can keep continue like that, but I'm gonna pause the video until I'm finished. Okay, so we're back to the last one. So I created all these. The last one would be 5, and it created the 5. Now if we flip to Revit, you will see it's already created, and even if you go to 3D, you will see it there. So LINKo7 creates grid lines, not really Revit grid lines, but just model lines in 3D, so it will guide you when you do the modeling. Let's hide those levels elements, so you can see now it created the grids instantly. Once you do that, let's go to 3D. Now you can start modeling, and to do that you go to family view, and I already have some family view here. Okay, so I get the levels from the drawing, and you can specify the levels where you want to place your elements. If for any reason the connection is lost, you can easily go to connect again and just highlight the connection number and click connect. Then the connection will be established again. You could model the families in many ways. There are options. Highlight the type, right click, and depending on the type, you will have the drop down menu here. So you can have, let's say you want to insert a column. So you will have the prompt here. You insert it, insertion point to keep inserting. When you click, if you go to Revit, you'll see them there, right there. And structural framing, insert beam. You can insert it like that. If you go to Revit, you will see it there. So this is one of the options to model in AutoCAD and generated in Revit, which is a live connection, instant live connections. The other one is if you don't want to see it right away, you can always at any time use send to Revit, and you go to Revit and come back here and say sync. So let's say you erased this beam, send to Revit, go back here, sync, the beam is gone. The difference between sync and get from AutoCAD, sync that it will make a match and exactly sync the objects in both in AutoCAD and Revit. Get from AutoCAD will get only the new ones you added in AutoCAD. In another video, I showed you how to create this family view in Revit. And if you want to modify it, you need to go to Revit and family spec, and you can open it. It's in, and it's this one. So you can make changes here. And the other video I showed you how to create this family view. So you make your changes and you do a save, and you need to go back to AutoCAD and do a refresh. It will refresh it. So that was one option for modeling. You right click, and the other option is you do multiple, and we'll see that in a minute. Let's erase those and send to Revit, go here, sync, the gun, come back here. So I want to do a multiple insertion, let's say for this type of columns. You can do select objects if you have let's say you drawn a line, AutoCAD line, and or a bunch of lines or arcs for like this is structure framing. Let's go with columns. So this dialog here allows you to insert more than one object, and it will be used for most of the objects like beams and walls. So basically this panel here has the levels, and this panel had the column grids. And then you have some options here depending on what are you modeling. For a column, you will get it's a single location of footing elevation if you want the column to go down to the elevation, the footing elevation. So let's go ahead and fill in all the columns. So check all, we'll check all the levels, grid name, check all the grid names, or you can do it by grid. And then insert, and you will see it here. And this goes with the levels that you imported from Revit. So if we flip to Revit, you will see them right away. So again, you can do framing, structural framing, same thing. And here we have the option, let's do all together. Whether the continuous, typically this is for concrete beams, drop down beams, but for steel we'll leave it the way it is. And insert again. So you can see it added all the beams, and it tells you the name of each member or a structural member. And in AutoCAD it's just modeling single lines, just to show you. And in Revit, now these are real elements. Let's do some shading. Okay, so you can keep going. Finally, for this video, I want to show you a very powerful tool that LINKo7 provides you, which is the modify. So this tool here allows you to do a lot of modifications, whether it's for a single element or for many elements. And you need to do like refresh if you remove or moved or do any modification to the project. Just make sure that before you do anything, just do a refresh. This will get all the objects and list them here. And you can filter them by category. You have name, level, type, material, and visible only. Name will list everything here, and this search, it's a filter. You can filter out by name. So you can do auto, and I want an only W10 by 49, and it will filter them out, W10. So you can see only W10. Or you can filter by levels. So I want only the elements on level 4. You can sort them by type, foundation, walls, etc. Material, and you have the materials. If you have a blank here, that means some of the elements don't have any material in them. And the material, you have visible only. If you do some isolation and such, will only list the visible only. So let's go back to type and foundation. Let's go with walls. So once you have a list here, you want to do modification on them. So you right click. Once you right click in this area, you'll get all kinds of tools that you can use to modify. If you want to select more than one, it's either you can select all, or you can use the shift or control button and select as many as you want. So if you want to replace them, so you do replace, and it depends on the type. It will give you a list of the available types. So for walls, you can change those to any type here. Hit apply. It will, you could see them, replace them right away. And we modify. You can do an offset. You change height, length, etc. You can flip for walls. You can see it flip, and you can auto fit. For the walls, they are center to center. So if you want to fit a wall between two columns and a beam or whatever, it will automatically fit them. And this is transparency. Change the color. You want to isolate them, so you can isolate them right there. You can show everything, show all again, and there's a lot of options here. Delete, so you can try them all and see how they work. This is a general idea, basic idea of how you can use this tool. This is a very powerful tool LINKo7 provides you. I guess that's it for this video, and I will see you in other videos. Thank you.